Apache Junction City Council to order. Roll call.
Mayor Surtee,
Here.
Vice Mayor Wilson,
Here.
Councilmember Barker,
Here.
Councilmember Evans, here, Councilmember Rizzi,
Present.
Councilmember Schroeder,
Present.
Councilmember Strubel.
Here.
Strubel, sorry. You have a quorum, Your Honor.
Okay, we're going to turn this all over to Bryant. Discussion and consideration of Resolution 1910 and 1911.
So the first item is related to your classification compensation plan. We do this as part of the budget process each year during this phase of the tentative approval. The only change that's changed is the planning manager position that's been put in. And it's been slotted in a position that, where we think it fits well. And other than that, Matt, anything else to add on class and comp?
Nothing else, no.
Joel, do they need to vote on that first and then we can go into the budget?
They do. So we need a motion?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I move that resolution number 19-10, a resolution of the mayor and the city council of the city of Apache Junction, Arizona, declaring as a public record and adopting certain documents filed with the city clerk entitled City of Apache Junction Classification Plan for Fiscal Year 2019-2020, City of Apache Junction Civilian Compensation Plan for Fiscal Year 2019-2020, City of Apache Junction Recruit and Sworn Compensation Plan for Fiscal Year 2019-2020, and City of Apache Junction Flat and Hourly Salary Schedule for Fiscal Year 2019 through 2020, and declaring an emergency be approved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Schroeder,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wilson,
Yes.
Councilmember Barker,
Yes.
Councilmember Evans,
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzi,
Yes.
Councilmember Strubel,
Yes.
Mayor Surtee.
Yes.
Unanimous approval, Your Honor.
So, Bryant.
Thank you, Your Honor. Tonight is the public hearing for the fiscal year 2019-2020. And I'd like to again thank our department directors, many of which are here, should there be any question, along with our budget team. Very briefly, some highlights of the budget for next year include estimates for revenue to be right around 7%. This net new revenue equals about 1.9 million in bottom line growth. There are several significant changes to the budget to include a public safety departmental dispatch center improvement, continue to have the second household hazardous waste event, 3 new full-time positions, including a police sergeant in investigations, plans examiner, and planning manager, 1 part-time new position in library department that will allow for the library to stay open later on Mondays and Wednesdays, continued focus and investment on your fleet, and it also includes the mandated retirement costs for your public safety personnel retirement system and also for the Arizona State retirement system. And the budget includes a 2.5% step increase to all career status employees. Those are the major changes. Tonight is the public hearing. We went over many of those last time 2 weeks ago, and we are here to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions or discussion before we open the public hearing?
Well, I think it's important that, just for the public to know that the council meets with staff and we have the opportunity to ask lots of questions. So this isn't something that we just do in one meeting. We ask questions, we email questions, a lot of these things are answered for us. So it's
And-
not just a quick rubber stamp.
And not only us meeting, but, I mean, I come over here every other day, maybe every day, and I say, where is everybody? Well, they're all in budget. I mean, that goes on for weeks, so staff is very diligent at working on all this, longer than weeks, right?
It takes a couple,
Months.
several months, and we do produce a line item budget, and we will have that out in public for review during this period of time, and hope folks can get that information that way and ask questions to us and or to you. And we adjust as we go through we call it a budget time.
Okay, this is a public hearing. Would anyone like to speak on this? Al?
Tess is the.
Hearing and seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any more discussion? Then I'll ask for a motion.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I move that resolution number 19-11, a resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of Apache Junction, Arizona, for the adoption of the tentative budget for the city of Apache Junction, Arizona for fiscal year 2019-2020, herewithin setting forth the tentative estimates for the monies, for the monies necessary for the public expenses of the city of Apache Junction, Arizona for the fiscal year of 2019-2020, and giving notice of the time and place for hearing taxpayers for the adoption of the final budget and declaring an emergency be approved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Barker,
Yes.
Councilmember Struble,
Yes.
Councilmember Evans,
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzi,
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wilson,
Yes.
Mayor Surtee.
Yes.
Unanimous approval, Your Honor.
With that, I believe we can adjourn this meeting. Do we need a recess before we go into the next meeting?
I don't
Okay.
think so. I think we're
Okay. All right, so I will now call the Apache Junction work session to order. And thank you, staff, if you don't want to hang around. Except Al, you should.
No, the whole place is going to empty out.
Take the exit while you can.
So roll call.
Mayor Surtee,
Here.
Vice Mayor Wilson,
Here.
Councilmember Barker,
Here?
Councilmember Evans,
Here.
Councilmember Rizzi,
Present.
Councilmember Schroeder,
Sorry, here.
Councilmember Struble.
Here.
You have a quorum, Your Honor.
Presentation and discussion on the city's current policy on Proposition 202 tribal gaming grants. Bryant?
Thank you, Your Honor. Tonight's discussion is a policy discussion on something that we did not anticipate that could come to us, and this is a part of the Indian Community State Shared Revenue Program, local nonprofit participation. So in your packet are 3 documents. The first one I'll refer to is the current policy that was adopted on August 2nd, 2011, and it outlined for staff a certain method of how we view nonprofit requests, and they primarily are focused on those that are going to come from the city and directly benefit the city in a clear way. And we've been marching for, 8 years along, and I received a letter, well, actually, this is the 2nd year, right, Heather, that this has come up, and I'm like, I need to talk to council. And so this is one of those situations where we're starting to get a letter. This one is from Dave Richens to me regarding the request of the United Food Bank and supplemental food assistance that would be outside those current parameters. So tonight, we are just starting the process to let you know that this letter has come in. It doesn't fit within the current policy, that if you wanted to entertain something like that, that would be a request of an outside nonprofit that would benefit so they provide to some degree, some proportionate share of what they do to our city, because it's the United Food Bank. But what's different is we don't know exactly what those are, and maybe that's what could be changed in the policy. So tonight isn't the night to try to figure out what those are. Tonight is the night for staff to understand if you would even want to entertain a further discussion of changing our current policy that would allow for maybe a nonprofit that's outside our city that would indirectly support. So the United Food Bank is a major component of the Apache Junction Food Bank.
Does this open the door then for more and more out of the city? I mean, we're not as well off on some of these type charities as other cities are. So I don't know. What do you think the numbers are? Does anybody have?
So I have no idea what
numbers?
the number, if it would
Yeah.
open the door for any others. It certainly might. I know that other cities have been asked to do this. I always try to get it, policy from the city in terms of what we do with MAG or CAG is a policy of trying to put as many hands in as many pockets as we can. But it could, you could try something for a couple of years and see how it goes, but I don't know.
So does United Food Bank have a branch office here?
The United Food Bank does not have a branch.
Then they don't meet the qualifications for the Indian tribe, because the Indian tribe asks has a physical presence in the community for example, a branch office, a satellite office, or whatever. So that they don't meet the criteria.
Are they asking to do that through our food bank, though, considering that their satellite office?
Then the food bank should be making the request, not United Food, because that way then all the money would go to AJ, and we would be assured that the money was coming to our community and not being distributed throughout the eastern portion of Maricopa County.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing.
No,
I'm
I
just
know,
asking
I
if
know.
that's what
I
their
know.
thought
Yeah, that's-
process maybe was, that is their base in,
So certainly the United Food Bank is doing what every nonprofit would do, is to go forward and get, they have to find a city to do that. So they would have to, they've asked Gilbert, they've asked Mesa, I don't know where exactly they're, I think they're in Mesa.
And they're in Mesa.
And so they
They're
could go that route. I'm not sure, Councilmember Barker, where are you reading
I'm
the,
reading on the criteria from the Indian tribe. It says criteria consideration for sponsorship. An organization may be considered for sponsorship by the city council if, and it goes on to the 501c, and have a current business license here in the city. It provides services to the residents of the city and has a physical presence in the community.
is
I
that
think
our
she's-
policy or
our
is that their
policy.
policy?
That's
our
ours,
policy.
I guess.
That's what I
tribe
wanted to
Yeah.
clarify. That was what we stipulated into
I
that.
like that policy.
And if that's the case, we're done. I tell Dave, that's
do,
good,
because I
we're
think
done, you know,
I think
that's
it ensures that the money that is used by a nonprofit is used here in our community, and I think that's important for this community.
I'm still, so yeah, the tribe wants to come in and fund the United Food Bank
So,
in Apache Junction. So why don't they come and support the AJ Food Bank?
so a couple thoughts. One, that's not, the tribe is not supporting, they have through Prop 202, a process to fund communities. They've set out a process. That's kind of a separate thing. The answer to your second question is, of course, the Apache Junction Food Game could get organized and they could ask us to be the pass-through, if I'm right, Heather, correct? Yep. So the Apache Junction Food Bank could do, in essence, what the United Food Bank is doing, yes.
Right,
Yes, they could.
and
And
They
they
should.
haven't, but they could.
City's not out of line in recommending things like that, are they?
We're just a pass-through on that.
Right, we're a pass-through, and we've worked with the fire district, I think, we've worked with our own police department, we've received different funds through this process as well.
I believe that if from the Prop 202, and Heather could probably clarify, that the tribes require a nonprofit to have a city sponsor to request
Right.
gaming money. So that's why
and so we could
they need our help.
informally ask the AJ Food Bank to pursue this option for themselves through the tribal program, because they are a 501c3, and,
We could certainly suggest it.
well, yeah, I didn't know what the proper terminology on that. but- I mean, that would alleviate some of their funding shortfalls. So,
Okay,
Any
that's all I
more?
need,
I think,
just,
yes. Is that it on that?
That's it.
Is it?
No, no more action?
I don't think they're,
No more agenda
Yes.
items?
We're done.
I hate to say it, but we all have to go home now. So we'll adjourn the meeting. We'll see you all tomorrow.
And we don't have an exec, right?
tomorrow.